Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Put.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things we're talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the
All right. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Today is the 9th of December. So we could see that our moon signs made a transition, or is making a transition today. It's going from Scorpio to Sagittarius. So we're going from a water sign to a fire sign. Water sign is emotions. So the unconscious has been dealing with emotions. Emotions from Scorpio, more emotions, feelings coming up from the depths that need to be dealt with. And as we move forward, this arrow of truth here wants us to get to the bottom of things, to figure out what's going on. Because this water becomes fire, and this fire is ideas. And we have Jupiter, which is expanding everything that's around with these ideas. And so we have an opportunity here. At 12:39 a.m., we went void of course, which means we're in a phase of time here where things are just expanding. You could see the moon is expanding with Jupiter here. We're just expanding, having all these ideas, having all of these thoughts, trying to find how we're going to place them somewhere. And this void of course kind of just leaves us in the void through this expansion. Between them, we've got the wounded healer, Chiron. And Chiron is wanting to remind us that inside ourselves is this wounded aspect that needs to be attended to healed. And when we do that, we find ourselves becoming whole. We find ourselves feeling better about situations and who we are because we've taken time to figure out a little bit more about who we are and what's going on. Okay? And then finally, 4:25 p.m. is when we're going to go into Sagittarius. So then these ideas are going to have an opportunity to process. So all of that feeling, all of that healing of what was coming up from the depths, the expansion of what's going on. This sun here is in a square, which says that the conscious mind is, needing to be healed. It's at odds with the healer, something inside. So we're wrestling with whatever that is, and as we get to the afternoon, we start to find the clarity in there. And then Mercury knows how to communicate, is moving into Capricorn. Capricorn is the physical world, so help learning to communicate a little better within the physical realm. But then again, the caution is always not to get caught up in the illusion of what's going on in that physical realm. So definitely a lot to think about in all of there. The moon, as we could see, is just a slight sliver, 3% of the way full. We're going into the new moon. Here's a new moon schedule for you. December 11th, 2:29 a.m. That'll be Los Angeles time, as you can see right here. And that's exactly the time when the new moon takes place. So today's the 9th, so not tomorrow, but in the morning after tomorrow night. Okay, on the Jewish calendar, today is the 27th of Kislev, 27 Kislev, year 5776. And the daily thought for today is darkness with hope. There are dark jewels in the world that can be salvaged, purified, and taken as precious bounty for the good. And there is darkness itself, the essential essence of light that must only wait its time to expire. How can we tell the difference between them? If the darkness fights back, there is hope. It means there is something worth fighting for. Okay, it's very good. The Mayan Oracle today. It's a three-tone day, which is a day of activation, the electric tone. The kin for today, the dog, is all about love, loyalty. The white is about refinement, so we're refining something about ourselves, dealing with love, loyalty. Timelessness is our guide. The monkey down here is our hidden power, learning to play, remembering to play. Purification, our like-minded energy. The challenge is enlightenment. The phrase for today is I activate in order to love, bonding, loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of timelessness. Space weather. Solar wind is currently at 443.7 kilometers per second, so that's a little slower than it has been, up in the 5 and 600s. Planetary K index, we're quiet right now. Could get up to a 3. Large coronal hole, I'm sure this has got to be sending some wind our way. It's a nice good sized hole, just like the one up above it there. M-class flare possibility, we're at 10%. M-class, X-class is 1. Geomagnetic storm activity, 40% in the next 24 hours. So it's going up here. So it's going up in the higher latitudes as well, 40 to 55%. All right, so definitely movement going on in the cosmos around us. And looking up at the sky tonight says, how fairly well do you think you know the deep sky scenery in Cassiopeia? Explore some telescopic signs you may never heard of. Okay. Anyway, this is basically what we had the other day. Things are getting darker, so just move things forward accordingly. There you have it. That is our cosmic weather, the energy around us. So with the conscious mind, we're looking for truth. We're moving into the unconscious mind later this afternoon, looking for truth. So that seems to be a quest out in the world, looking for truth. We'll talk more about that. I'll talk more about that in a bit. I'm going to jump away because UFO news is up next. There we go.
It's time for the UFO news with Joshua Poet. It's time.
All right. Today, a couple of stories for you. 4, to be exact. All right, first story is Dreamland alien-human communication. It says 30th November, Nancy Duarte asks, can aliens speak our languages? Can we understand them? We need new discoveries about communication between us and the provocative unknown. Could it be that there is a single powerful message being communicated across the whole experience? If so, what is it? And what role does telepathy play? Mind control. What are downloads and who gets them? There is far too little discussion of these most basic of all contact issues. Is there communication, and what does it mean? So I have a good little movie here. Check that out, Dreamland. Lots of questions that seem to apply to what's going on right now around us, energetically, cosmic weather-wise. All right, here's Richard Dolan discusses dimensions of the global UFO cover-up. In this workshop, Richard will be discussing the global international aspects of the UFO cover-up. What does it mean for our species, and what can we expect to occur in our near future? Furthermore, Richard will provide us with an update of work, interviews, and findings in relation to the UFO cover-up so that we may be informed and inspired in order to lay the foundation, the complete disclosure. All right, so a nice good video here. If you haven't heard Richard speak, I'm sure you have. He's on Ancient Aliens. He's all over the UFO programming, but very knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable. He said he's one of the world's leading researchers and writers on the subject of UFOs and believes that they constitute a greater mystery of our time. He's the author of 2 volumes of history, UFOs and the National Security State, both groundbreaking works which together provide the major factually complete and accessible narrative of the UFO subject available anywhere. It is also co-authored a speculative book about the future, AD after disclosure, the first ever analysis not only of how UFO secrecy might end, but of the all-important question of what happens next. So, check that out. Brought a couple links up for you here just as a reminder. Today is an anniversary date for UFO hunters and particular crashes. This was the history of the Kecksburg, December 9th, 1965. Citizens of Detroit and eastern Michigan, Ohio, and western Pennsylvania were treated to a fireball in the night sky, as mysterious then as it is now. The fireball coursed from the west to the east, dropping hot metallic fragments on the way until, in the Pittsburgh area, people heard a sonic boom noise, and residents of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, reported seeing an object crash in the woods about 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh. Described as an acorn-shaped object about the size of a VW bug, witnesses claimed a sort of hieroglyphic band of markings around the base. The Army was reported to have shown up, sealed the area around the crash site, removing the object with a flatbed truck. Despite numerous witnesses, including volunteer firemen, the government denied removing any object and claimed no object could be found. The local newspaper reported on the incident the next day and described how the Army and state police had sealed the area. The paper referred to the object as a UFO. The government, of course, claimed that the object had been a meteor and no trace of the crash site was found. The meteor story was struck by the government until 2005 when NASA reported the object really had been a failed Soviet secret space program, a probe called Cosmos 96 that had burned up on a re-entry. Not surprisingly, the actual records of the government investigation disappeared in the 90s. It says many investigations into this incident have been made over the years by various journals and even the Sci-Fi Cable Channel and the History Channel. Okay, so I thought you'd find this interesting there. And here's another more in-depth analysis here from UFO Evidence. See a big article here all about what happened. December 9th, hundreds of witnesses in southern Canada, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania observed the UFO crash from the sky in March of 1966. Scientist and UFO investigator Yvonne Sanderson compiled an account from the various eyewitness stories. So that was just less than 3 months after it happened, or 3 months afterwards. Alright, so there you go. That is our UFO news. Some good stories to check up. I'll be back. We will continue on. Stay tuned.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Great Spirit, send down your love, send down your love.
continuing on. So I'm going to get to the Psalms in a few minutes. We're going to continue on with that. But I think all of this fits into the same theme. Something's going on in the world. We can definitely see it. And the question is this a physical event that's taking place, or is there something behind the scenes? We have lots of different stories of the world, and I've been trying to look at it as a puzzle, put together a puzzle of figuring out, and I've done a couple of interviews, or on various subjects. I've been doing a lot of research. One of the current ones that I've done is with Mark Sargent. This was a couple of months ago. We talked about the flat Earth. I don't know if you know about the flat Earth theory. I think there's something to it, and sounds nutty. If you've never heard of it before, go back and listen to the interview. But in conjunction with that, there's some other video I was watching last night. It's this one right here, Flat Earth Truth of the UFO Alien Deception, full documentary. So I'm watching this, and it really got me thinking quite a bit about, how this whole story is coming together and all the pieces of the puzzle. Because one of the pieces of the puzzle that I find very intriguing is over here at the Non-Commodity Library. And in the Non-Commodity Library, we've got a number of books like the Apocryphon of John, we have the Gospel of Truth, we have On the Origin of the World. Down here we have the Apocalypse of Adam, the Revelation of Adam. And one of the fascinating things is there's synchronicity in all of these stories. They all tell the same story, but the story that they tell is a little bit different than the story that is in the Bible. And the Bible is the book that we know is sanctioned by the church, but we also understand that the church has some problems, and that the book, though it contains the Word of God, was also edited by men, and they had particular agendas on what they kept in and took out and so on. So the challenge is trying to put it all together and figure out where it all ties together, because there's a story in there that's all tying together. And somehow it seems that the idea is between deception versus truth in every different area that you look at. Are we being deceived, or are we seeing the truth? I don't know all the answer. I brought all this stuff up because I'd like you to take some time, if you haven't already, to look at these videos, look at this information, look through the non-commodity stuff, read through, and let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion about some of this, to see what's going on, because it is quite fascinating, and something is definitely unfolding. And I think to dismiss that, I think we're missing a big part of the puzzle. If nothing else, we could be intrigued by all that's going on. The book of Revelation is almost like a script that seems to be unfolding, but the story is very metaphorical and symbolic. And somehow all of this ties together. And I think it's really good for us to see what we can do to unravel it. Because the words that we have, the teachings, are that what is taking place is more than just the physical world. It's with powers and principalities that are beyond that. And in the Non-Commodity Library, those are the actual words that are used in describing things. The principalities, the powers, the archons. Words that the Bible doesn't have, and you can find were taken out and removed. So there's something in this. Why were these particular texts at the Non-Commodity? Why were these, removed? Why were these not put into the Bible? There's fragments of them that are in the New Testament and within the Old Testament. So if there's fragments of them, that either these stories existed to some degree or another back when all of this was written, seems to be. So I don't know. I'm exploring. I'm providing the links so you can do some exploration as well, and we'll gather together with our research and see what we've come up with, because I find it to be very fascinating. All right. And also, I know a lot of you've been. I'm just starting to catch up on my looking at my notes and the postings you've put in and the comments. So, I thank you very much for taking the time out to watch the show to make the comments, and I always try to respond back. So if I haven't yet, I'm just a little bit slow going at the moment. All right, let's continue on here with the Psalms. Psalm 15. Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart. He that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor take up a reproach against his neighbor. In whose eyes a vile person is contemned, but he honoureth them that feareth the Lord. He that sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent. He that doth these things shall never be moved. 16. Preserve me, O God, for in thee do I put my trust. O my soul, thou hast said unto the Lord, Thou art my Lord. My goodness extendeth not to thee, but to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. The Lord is the portion of mine inheritance, and of my cup thou maintainest my lot. The lines are fallen unto me in pleasant places, yea, have a goodly heritage. I will bless the Lord, who hath given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand. I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures for evermore. All right, there we go, Psalm 17. Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer that goeth not out of feigned lips. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved mine heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me, and shalt find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips, I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that thy footsteps slip not. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by the right hand them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass about me. They are enclosed in their own fat. With the mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as if it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion of this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. 18. I love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, so I shall be saved from mine enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me, and the snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and I cried out to my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him even unto his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundation also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. He went up out smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled in it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down. The darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. And he made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hail stories and coals of fire. Yea, he sent his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Then the channels of water were seen, and the fountains of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. And he sent from above. He took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from me which hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth into a large place. He delivered me, because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him, and I kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore hath the Lord recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With thy mercy thou wilt show thyself merciful. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With a pure thought wilt thou show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. And thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my God I have leaped over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all that trust in him. For who is God save the Lord? Or who is a rock save our God? It is God that hath girdeth me with strength, and maketh the way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon high places. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy greatness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies and overtaken them. Neither did I turn again till they were consumed. I have wounded them, that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cry, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt into the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. The strangers shall fade away, and be afraid out of their close places. The Lord liveth, and he blesseth my rock. And let the Lord of my salvation be exalted. It is the God that avengeth me, and subdueth the people under me. He delivereth me from mine enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, to David, and to his seed forevermore. Number 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through this earth, and their words to the ends of the earth world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heart thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is true. The Lord is perfect, converting his soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. 20. The Lord shall hear me in day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings, and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Selah. Grant thee according to thine own heart, and fulfill all thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfill all thy petitions. Now know that I, the Lord, saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we will remember the name of our Lord our God. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save, Lord, let the King hear us when we call. One more, Psalm 21. The king shall joy in thy strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation. How greatly shall he rejoice! Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withholden the request of his lips. Selah. For thou hast prevented him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head. And he asked life of thee, and thou gave it to him, even length of days for ever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation. Honor and majesty thou hast laid upon him. For thou hast made him most blessed forever. Thou hast made him exceedingly glad with thy countenance. For the king trusteth in the Lord, and through mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in wrath, and his fire shall devour them. Their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device which they were not able to perform. And therefore thou shalt make them turn their back. When thou shalt make ready thine arrows, be upon thy strings against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Lord, in thine own strength. so we will sing and praise thy power. All right, there you go. There's 7 more. It's been a long while since I've read through the Psalms, and they're quite powerful, aren't they? A lot of food for thought, and really ties in, and especially where the one was talking about the firmament. That's exactly, in this enclosed earth model. The firmament is the dome. I don't know if you're aware of this. You probably are at this point, if you've been listening to me long enough, that if you read through the Bible or you go through any of the major religions, prior to 500 years ago, every one of them describes the earth as being a flat plane with a dome over it. Every single one of them. So that is there for some reason. And it wasn't only until 1500s, during the Renaissance, when things changed by science. So it became science versus religion. And there was a battle that took place. But those stories of the earth and its description, they've been there for a long while, and I think that there's something important. Why did all of the major religions, what did they know? And the more I explore, the more I look at the research of others who are exploring, there's something there. It's not a idle topic, and people who are studying it are not, they're not crazy. They're definitely following on a path of something that has some merit. Definitely does. So I would consider you to look at those things, because there's some big mysteries in the world, and I think we can figure them out if we just put our minds to it. All right, here's a story of the signs that synchronicity exists, the evidence. Synchronicity exists everywhere, but we seldom recognize it for what it is. Here are some of the most common synchronicities to help you understand what is meant to be. Ever been to a busy place where finding an empty parking space is believed to be next to impossible, only to find someone pulling out at the best spot as though making a space just for you? Ever had that pretty confidence when you picked up the phone to call somebody and received a call from them right at that moment? Have you ever felt a celestial connection with someone or something? If you have, you've already experienced what Carl Jung, a psychiatrist from Switzerland, defined as synchronicity. Here's everything you need to know about it to understand that it really exists. What is synchronicity? Simply put, it's that sweet confidence that you do not associate with other events and or experiences. So what if the person you were thinking about a few moments ago just walked into the room? It was just a lucky coincidence, wasn't it? And that perfect opportune job offer, well, it was pure luck. Finding good people everywhere you go is often pinned on good fortune. But in the eye of synchronicity, such coincidences are actually a result of interconnectedness of the universe. On a spiritual level, distances or distinctiveness of objects do not matter. In that dimension, everything is interconnected, perfectly aligned with everything else. There is pace, harmony, and direction about what is right or wrong. It is where everything seems to fall into places ordained by the destiny. Your spiritual presence manifests itself in the form of synchronicities, enabling you to figure out what is meant to be. Synchronicities are quite common, however, they are seldom accredited for what they are. There are a million things you see and experience every day. In fact, a major part of it is never registered by your conscious observation. So if you are able to register synchronicities like those mentioned above, it pays to consider that they are not mere coincidences. So the next time we experience a synchronicity, you can relish the joy of being aligned with the spirit of the universe. And here's a list of some common synchronicities we overlook. It says synchronicities are everywhere and they occur more frequently than you think. Here are a few cases that will help you realize the synchronicities occurring in your life. When you look up at a clock displaying repeated or sequenced numbers. If you pick up your phone and you receive a message or call from precisely the person you were planning to contact. You're humming a tune, perhaps your favorite song, and it starts playing on the radio. At times there's a big question that seems to be glued to the back of your head, and then you get some hints about what needs to be done. There are people who seem to have the most persistent and perpetual good luck. They hit the road, encounter green light every traffic signal, and so on. You meet strangers who have the best advice for your problems. And you receive a parcel from a friend gifting you precisely with the thing you're looking for. Synchronicities are a common occurrence. The next time you encounter a lucky coincidence, just stop for a minute to relish the fact that it is a synchronicity, a sign from above that you are doing well the way you are. All right, so there you go. Nice, good article on synchronicities by Elizabeth Williams. She was dreamcatcherreality.com. Nice article. All right, here's a message for today. This is from the Elohim, as it is titled. Here we go.
The Elohim.
December 3rd, 2015. By Carla Thompson.
Greetings. We are the Elohim. We greet you in this moment with compassion for your deep desire to seek union with what has been described as the twin flame. The language of this label is extremely limiting, and it has taken on a mystical role for those who find themselves lonely and seeking companionship for the journey through incarnation. First, we must stress that this period of ascension means only one thing: it is the awakening of the individuated expressions to themselves. First and foremost, it means the awakening to your own self, for to seek a twin soul before awakening to the self is an error in discernment and demonstrates paramount disregard for one's own expansion and the intimate understanding of one's own soul. The ultimate objective of your personal incarnation at this time is to achieve fully the intimate experience of your own I Am presence, the knowing of yourself and the embracing of yourself within the context of the wholeness of all that is. This step is the foundational step that must be completed before one seeks union with another soul. Every incarnate on this planet in this moment has come from the Lemuria Atlantis epoch. This means that sometimes individuals may feel connected in some manner to another individual, but this is only a soulmate connection. And within the meaning of this explanation there follows the karmic imperative. As the karmic imperative no longer applies to this current reality, soulmate alignment for karmic resolution is no longer valid. Therefore there is only really one imperative now, and that is the full achievement of one's own soul alignment, the alignment with one's soul essence or one's higher self to the physical body, mind, and spirit system. This must be done prior to the encounter with one's twin flame, so that this connection may be achieved with little effort and easy integration, and this is no small task. Let us share this thought with deep affection for all of you as incarnates. The source of much pain and suffering within your reality almost always arises from the miscreation of the human mind. The mental body, a part of which includes the mind, can create all manner of illusion within the emotional body's constructs of what the perfect reality may be perceived to really be. The purpose of the reunion of the twin souls at this time is simply to magnify their own personal efforts, and their own successes, during this ascension expansion. When they are in energetic union and full harmony, each to the other, their contribution to the ascension process is magnified many times over, including on the multidimensional platform. There are 12 pairs within what is considered the PAT group, and while they are distributed in a wide geographical area, the recognition of each other shall come to the forefront, if that is meant to be. If they are seeking the twin soul experience, they will recognize in each other that familiarity with their own oversouls, that indeed, there will be a knowing that they have fully integrated their I Am presences, and that they are now ready for the ultimate sacred union, the energetic unification each to the other and into the one. There is a keen excitement in this sacred connection, as they will both know that it is an opportunity to expand not only their own levels of consciousness, but also their levels of service for the higher good of all. The power of this sacred return to wholeness as a pair of souls holding the same essence, the same energetic frequency, opens the door for a magnificent expansion, not only within their own fields but also within the energetic fields of your Gaia. This also means that because they have come together, their power to act effectively multidimensionally expands exponentially. We send you our love and we wish you to know that we are always with you. We are the Elohim.
All right, there you go. There you go. All right, so let's look at the passage today. This is the Warrior of the Light, page 135. A very large group of people is standing in the middle of the road, barring the way into paradise. The Puritan asks, "What are these sinners doing here?" The moralist bawls. The prostitute wants to join the feast. The guardian of social value yells, "How can the adulteress be forgiven when she has sinned?" The penitent rends his clothes. Why cure a blind man if all he cares about is his illness, and when he doesn't even say thank you? The ascetic protests, "You let that woman pour expensive oil on your hair. Why didn't she sell it instead to buy food?" Smiling, Jesus holds the door open and the warriors of light go in, despite the hysterical shouting. All right, so there you go. And our meditation for today is go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale again. Now let us just feel that place inside of ourselves. A place where everything is calm and peaceful. And from that place, connect with the synchronicities that are moving in and out of your life by simply paying attention to what is happening around you. And just to tune yourself to being focused, and imagine yourself now walking out in the world, aware of the various synchronicities that are taking place in your life. And as you're aware, you find that they are like guideposts moving you along. A roadmap laid before you. And as we travel along, we find ourselves exploring aspects of God that we had forgotten about. And the more we explore these various aspects, the more we understand how expansive they are. And as we work to understand, we find all of these pieces of life coming together like a puzzle. All brought together through synchronicity. Our connections to all. So let the subconscious mind continue on exploring simply by paying attention to what is happening. And let the conscious mind come back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3 coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2 coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1 coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That's the show for today. Thank you very much for being here. There's a lot going on in the world. I think one thing that seems most evident is that we need to keep our focus on God, understand the role of Jesus, understand the importance of spirit, and how all of this really is what is driving our life, because there definitely is a deception taking place in the world. Truth versus deception seems to be the big question, the big thought. So, more on that as time continues on. Those are my deep thoughts for the moment. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thanks for watching the show again. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, I love you. Keep loving each other. Peace. I'm out of here.